If you're using print on demand, this video here is gonna show you how to make your print on demand business look way more legit. How do I know this? Because I've worked with thousands of other brands online and I've been running my own brand for the past 8 years. Print on demand is something that I see a lot of, and I see a lot of people using it poorly. Print on demand is a business model that almost encourages and enables business owners to cut corners, because the business model itself is trying to take away all of the need for fulfillment and all of the other little things that you'd have to do to start up a business. And because a lot of new clothing brands view print on demand as sort of this shortcut to success where you can bypass the need for inventory, bypass the need to handle any fulfillment, what a lot of clothing brands do is they miss out on the opportunity to still build a legit brand. And this video is gonna show you how you can still use print on demand, but make your clothing brand look way more legit, leading to way more sales for your brand. I hope you enjoy. Before we get into it, Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at BrandCrowd. BrandCrowd's a logo maker tool. You type in the name of the logo that you want, smack that enter button. Thousands of logos will come up. You choose the logo that you like, and you can edit and refine that logo as long as you want for free until it's perfect. This is a hundo P design I made for my own clothing brand using BrandCrowd. If you're interested, head over to brandcrowd.com/apparel success. You can get up to 66% off at checkout. What a lot of clothing brand owners believe is that the issue with print on demand is the customer's experience, and I believe that that's actually not true. The biggest issue with print on demand is actually how it affects your brain mentally as a business owner using print on demand, trying to run a clothing brand. In the back of your head, you might be thinking, man, I actually don't have a legit clothing brand here, because in the clothing brand space, print on demand tends to be viewed as way less legit than if you were carrying your own inventory, fulfilling all of your own orders, and making all of your own products. And I just believe that that doesn't need to be the case. Now, the reason why this doesn't need to be true is because what is print on demand? It's simply just a logistical business model that's really only experienced on the back end of your company. Your customers, if you don't tell them that you're print on demand and that you're working with Printful or Printify or any of these other print on demand services, they'll likely have no idea from start to finish if you were using print on demand or if there was some elf in a factory somewhere packing all of your orders and shipping them all off. Now, I understand that there are nuances to this, okay? If you're running a private label clothing brand and you're doing all these new inventive things with all these customizations, yeah, print on demand isn't right for you. But for most lifestyle brands that are using print on demand, there are ways that you can completely make your brand look totally legit and have the exact same perception as all of these other brands that are carrying all of their own fulfillment and doing all of the back end things themselves. The first way that you can make your print on demand brand look just as legit as any other clothing brand is when you're using these print on demand services, whether it's Printful or Printify, only use the products that allow for customizations, like inner neck labels or little hem labels, because you can add all of these things with print on demand. Inside of Printful, you can sort out all of the products inside of the product catalog that you're using to only show you options with branding options, where you can actually add your own custom label on the inside of the neck and add the little labels that you'd be doing otherwise if you were actually making all of the inventory through a screen printing facility or printing it yourself at home. And I know that if you use Printful, you can actually add all of your own custom packaging as well. So you can basically do everything that you'd be doing if you were running it from home using print on demand, as long as you select those options. And I know that it might cost you a little bit more, but if you don't want to risk investing in a ton of inventory and you want to remain a little bit more flexible, sure, you might take a little bit of a hit to your profit margin, but you'll be able to have a legit clothing brand where you don't need to handle any of the fulfillment yourself. And when it gets to your customer, they're going to experience your brand as if you were basically making all the clothing at home or working with a screen printing facility. Another thing that you absolutely have to do, this is not optional, okay, you need to do this if you're running a print on demand business, is order samples first of products that you're going to be selling on your website. Don't just slap designs on random hoodies that you've selected on the product catalog and put them on your website, okay? You want to definitely test the quality of the hoodies that you're using and see if they're legit, see if your customers would be happy, if you'd be happy receiving that in the mail, and then move forward with them, because all of these different print on demand services have different quality levels of products that you can use. You can use like really crappy bottom of the barrel Gildan stuff, or you can use really high quality blanks and garments that are legit and have really good quality to them. So definitely order samples first before you start selling them to your customers. And what I'm about to tell you next here is the most important part of this video in terms of making your print-on-demand business more legit, which is actually focus on building a good website. And what I mean by a good website is that all of your product mockups aren't just the stock ones that come with your print-on-demand provider like Printful or Printify. No, you actually make the mockups on your website look legit from scratch with the products that you receive from them. You take really high quality pictures, you edit them in Photoshop, you go out and you take pictures for your website that look legit so that when people come to your brand, there's no telling that this is just something that you just slap together and it's like, oh, well, why would I trust this brand, or this brand doesn't look legit? Your brand actually looks legit on your website. And another component of your website that's super important is to actually take the time to write a legit brand story. Because what you're trying to do here is you're still trying to build a legit brand. And when people come to your site, have a story of how you got your brand started, what inspired your brand, all of the things that happened when you first started up your brand. The fact that you're running print on demand has absolutely nothing to do with the actual brand story, why you're developing the brand that you're creating. With my brand, for example, whether I'm using print on demand, whether I'm carrying my own inventory, or whether I'm working with a third-party fulfillment company, has nothing to do with the story of my brand. The story on my clothing brand's website will always remain the same because the logistics of how I'm sending out orders and fulfilling the orders has nothing to do with the actual brand itself. All this to say, actually take the time to build the brand. Actually take the time to write the story on your website and treat it as if you're still a legit clothing brand, because people will need to see that. That's so important in terms of building value and understanding what your brand's all about. So if you're running a print-on-demand brand, I should be able to come to your website and have absolutely no idea that you're a print-on-demand brand. I've done tons of brand reviews, and a lot of them, when I come to their website, I can tell immediately that they basically just use the mock-ups from the print-on-demand site, that their brand is just kind of, it looks amateur, it looks low quality because they haven't done anything above and beyond what is just handed to them from these print-on-demand providers. So definitely go above and beyond. And this has to do with your layout too. Like, you can actually go on Fiverr, work with somebody who's a Shopify coder, and build custom things into your website. Make your website layout look legit, look special, look different, and you can still use those print-on-demand applications. Another thing that you can do to make your print-on-demand brand look more legit is treat your social media marketing just as seriously as if you had any other brand. Like I said, I want to beat this into you, is that print on demand is simply just a logistical business model. It's just the back end. So your social media accounts has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you're running print on demand. Go out and shoot really, really great content with your friends wearing all of your clothing. Go out and create legit content for social media. Make sure that your Instagram looks legit, your TikTok looks legit. You look like a legit clothing brand. I cannot tell you the amount of clothing brands I've come across on Instagram that are running print on demand, that are posting the most generic product mock-ups on their Instagram with just their product mock-up with the white background. And it's like, just because you're running POD doesn't mean you can't post things for people to see. You can still post things for people to see on your Instagram. So don't treat your social media lightly. Treat this business as if it's a legit brand. Here's a really important thought that will completely reshape the way that you think about print on demand. Your customers don't have the knowledge and experience that you do when it comes to running a clothing brand or shipping and fulfilling orders, okay? Most people that are ordering from your brand have literally only ever shopped for clothes online or shopped for clothes at a store. They have no idea what print on demand even is as a business model. They have no idea what goes into fulfilling orders or anything like that. And all of this to say that your customers and how they receive your products, likely like 99% of them will have absolutely no idea what went into shipping and fulfilling that order, nor do they care about it. They literally do not care. All that they care about is when they receive the product at their house, that when they unbox it, It's what they saw online, it's what they ordered, and when they put it on their body, it fits great and it's good quality. That's basically all that they care about. And another thing to add to this would be, maybe in addition to this, they care about your shipping times, like how quickly the product actually got to them. But another thing that you can do to make your brand look more legit is actually filter the products in the product catalog in these print-on-demand providers by products that will ship quickly. There's an option where you can filter it by how fast the products will get to your customers. And so you can do all of these things on the back end to make sure that your clothing brand looks as legit as any other brand out there and still use print on demand, still create a great customer's experience to the best of your possible ability. And I hope that this helps make your brand look a lot more legit. If you're thinking about running your own brand or you're already running one, you've got to check out the Apparel Success Mastermind. It's a monthly subscription. It's only $47 a month, and you get direct access to me, access to a community of other clothing brands. All of my courses are in there, and every single month we do an exclusive live stream where I do a spotlight brand review and we do live Q&A. If you're interested, you can learn more at apparelsuccessmastermind.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.